Yay! My Sprinter starts! Earlier I had posted a video about my Sprinter not starting. It seems like whenever I would drive for maybe an hour or 2 hours, when it got hot, the transmission would get hot. It wouldn't start. If I turned it off, I'd have to let it sit for about 20 minutes and then it would start. Well, we were on a trip to Maine and it started acting up again on me pretty bad that time. I had already passed Nashville. There's a real good Sprinter shop in Nashville, but I went past that already. I called Mercedes, their main number for troubles, and they made an appointment for me in Hagerstown, Maryland. When I showed up there, I explained to them what had happened, and they did the first step that was suggested by Mercedes, which was replace the starter relays. Well, it all seemed okay. We started up the engine because it cooled off by the time they worked on it. Then we started up the engine, we drove down the highway, and I stopped for fuel a couple hours later, and guess what? Didn't start again. So I waited 20 minutes and it started, and I called Mercedes again and told them what happened, and they made an appointment for me at Wappinger Falls, New York. So we made a trip toward Wappinger, and I got there on I think it was a Friday, and they looked at it, and I'd done some research in the meantime on the internet, and I found what I thought could have been a problem, like one of 4 different things. So I suggested to them what I thought, and they kind of agreed with me, and they said, well, we'll have to order that part. So what it is, there's a switch inside the transmission that knows when you're in park so that the engine will start. If you're not in park, it thinks you're in gear and it won't start. So when you turn the key, it doesn't do anything. The lights come on, little indicators on the dash flash like normal, but there's no click of the starter engaging or anything. It just doesn't do anything. It just doesn't start. It thinks it's in gear. And if you wait 20 minutes, it no longer thinks it's in gear, and you can try it then, and you start, and it would start up. Well, anyway, they looked at that, and they figured out that was probably a good choice also. So they had to order the part for me. And it was, I believe it's called a transmission valve body. It's the whole valve body assembly because the switch is built into that location. They just can't replace the switch, you have to replace that whole part. So they ordered that, and Monday morning the part came in. We drove back over there. We'd been spending a couple of nights there in the area exploring New York along the Hudson. And we went there Monday. They had the part came in, they installed it. A couple hours later, we're back on the road, and it has not acted up since then. So the fix was that valve body with the switch, the neutral switch in it. So if you have a problem with your transmission, if your Sprinter not starting, that's the thing to look for, is that switch. It's called the neutral safety switch, I believe they call it, and it's in the transmission valve body. And there should be some service bulletins now from with Mercedes, because we had a lot of chats with Mercedes about this, and it's now there should be a service bulletin, not a recall, but just a service bulletin. So if you're driving your Sprinter chassis, late model Sprinter chassis, not the newest one, I don't know about the 2019, but just the one before that, we have a 2017 chassis. So if you're driving it after a couple hours and it doesn't start, and then you wait about 20 minutes and it just starts for you, that's probably your problem, is that switch. I've talked to several other people about this that had the problem. They had theirs replaced and theirs are working great. So that's my advice. If you have that no click, no start problem, have them check that valve body, that neutral safety switch. Well, thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down, but just leave a note why you didn't like it. And I hope this helps out some of my viewers here. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.